The series is going to be on the topic of how to find Jesus in the Old Testament.
Yeah, I mean, this really goes to show how crazy these people are. How to find Jesus in the Old Testament. We'll train you. We're going to show you for things to look for to find Jesus in the Old Testament, because he's not really there. Right? But we have to make him be back there. I mean, he just has to be. He has to be back there as the angel of the Lord or some theophany or whatever, right? He has to be, so we're going to train you. This goes to show you the insanity of the people who believe Jesus is God or the deity of Jesus or the Trinitarians, right? They have to train you for you to find it, because people are not finding him back in the Old Testament. There's hints and stuff. And we're going to show you all of these parallels where there's hints, right? But Jesus is clearly back there in the Old Testament. This is why I don't even get into conversations with people who are just so dogmatic and so oblivious to reality. They don't care about the theme of the scriptures, right? If Jesus was back there, you wouldn't have to hunt for him. We're not hunting for Gabriel. We're not hunting for Michael, even though Michael and Gabriel are even mentioned by name a handful of times, but we know they're back there and we know Satan's back there, right? Satan goes up to the heavenly realm to confront God about Job. Right? We're not arguing whether or not Satan was back there. We see him, right? But we're not hunting for little riddles. You guys are hunting for Jesus back in the Old Testament because he's not there. This is the insanity that I'm talking about.
That's like the easy to grasp title. A more fancy title would be The Theology of Typology. And what we're going to do is we're going to tackle this issue of Jesus in the Old Testament. That is God purposefully and deliberately placing content in the Old Testament that was meant to be clear and even sometimes unclear pictures of Jesus, analogies of Jesus, appearances, theophanies, that sort of thing, all of the above, teaching that's related to him in some way, that this is throughout the Old Testament. And I think this is a very exciting thing to study. I think there's something about it that just ministers to our spirit. Like when you're getting to Jesus in the Old Testament, there's something very exciting about it. It's also, I think, neglected. I think that we tend to not do this very much. And when you think about it, you're like, yeah, I'll study a whole book of the Old Testament and not necessarily be thinking that much about this issue. Or maybe not be equipped with the ability to think very well about the issue. Like, I don't know, how am I supposed to do this? How do I know I'm not just making stuff up? I'm not just like finding Jesus, right? The way I, discover like an imaginary friend. Like, how do I know I'm not doing that? And so I want to talk about that as well. Because this is also, not only is it exciting and neglected, it's also a little dangerous. Because in a sense, we're almost telling people, I don't think I'm going to do this, but we're almost telling people read between the lines.
You think?
And I've heard people say some interesting things. And sometimes I heard one person put it this way. Sometimes you're thinking, when they go to the Old Testament, they find some passage where it's referencing Jesus, at least in their opinion, and you think to yourself, is my pastor on to something? Or is my pastor on something? because I'm like going, I don't know about that, buddy.
Welcome to Common Sense Christianity, bringing you more Trinitarian insanity. And here you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is just a sample of what I have to deal with on a daily basis of the Trinitarian trolls that get triggered because they're not able to answer my questions. I've posted 5 deadly questions for Trinitarians that they have not been able to answer. And what happens? They get mad, right? They get mad or they get nasty or they do ad homs or whatever. I don't delete the comments. I've never deleted them. I block these people. Okay, so maybe when I block them, the comments went away. And I've noticed when I block some people, I'll say hide from channel. And then I'll go back and it says hide from channel, but I'm saying I hid that person from the channel. Why do I need to hide this person from the channel? And I notice their comments go away when I hide this person from the channel. But then I go back and he's not hidden from the channel. So that's probably what's happening. I don't individually selectively delete comments unless they cuss or do something like that. So I want to get that straight. I don't do that. I do hide people from the channel if they're not contributing to a conversation. And if I post a message saying they cannot show me these things, and then they go on to try and prove Jesus is God, and I warn them over and over again, I say, answer the posting, either it's a video or a posting of the subject matter. If they don't do it, and I warn them 2 or 3 times, then I will block them from the channel. I don't delete the comments. When I block them from the channel, it should delete the comments. But this is what I get. This heretic deletes your comments when he does not know how to answer it. First of all, it's about the Trinity, the questions that I post. They're not answering the questions, they're wasting my time and trolling. See, I want honest people and honest conversation. When they show up and they giggle and they act silly, then they're not here to have an honest conversation. They're here to troll. And the very fact that they're not able to answer the questions is proof that my questions are valid. They're not able to answer them. Another one says, I realize that and will share it and prove it with YouTube comment logs. Go ahead, share it. And also share the fact that you guys are not able to answer it. I don't want riddles, I said, mental gymnastics. I want you to show me in Scripture where somebody teaches this doctrine. Somebody points to it, exactly what I put in the comments on my 5 deadly questions, but you guys are not able to answer it, and yet you flood my comments with just silliness. I don't have time to respond to comments or even see comments from people who are not genuine, who just want to troll. That's why I remove you guys from my channel, okay? I've also kept making community posts saying that he won't answer my questions. I don't even know this guy, and I don't watch his videos, or I don't even go to his channel, so I'm not even going to watch or even look at them, because if somebody is not genuine enough to answer my questions, then I'm certainly not going to entertain what he has to say. 3 gods are one, even though it's said multiple times, but not really 3 gods are one. See, these people are just disingenuous. That's why I said in the beginning that most Trinitarians are a waste of time. They cannot answer my questions, so they troll your channel. They try creating drama. They just can't answer the questions flat out, okay? That should be the end all. They cannot answer my questions, so they get triggered. They get trolling. This is the point that I made the video, right? This is why I said that most Trinitarians are a waste of time, and these people are a waste of time, and they will be blocked from my channel, okay? So, and then I said, incorrect. The both of you are liars and trolling my channel. You can't answer the questions. I don't allow trolls on my channel. Either answer the questions or get removed. Now, this goes back to see here. This is the posting. It is 1/21/2024, and 0 Trinitarians have been able to answer my questions. Again, go through it. They're not able to it. They just call me a heretic and he's doing this, that, and whatever. They're just not able to. God is one in plural, okay? God is one in plural, both at once. I don't follow the Bible and Scripture to come to that conclusion, but we'll answer your questions. What are they? Okay? What are they? God is one in plural, both at once. If Jesus is a human like David, this guy was trolling earlier, telling me about the Trinity. So we can see the comments in the sections here that I have asked multiple times, and Trinitarians are a waste of time. Didn't the fathers of the early church already refute your heresy? See the obnoxious attitude and the condescending, just arrogance and full of themselves. My heresy, like the church fathers. See, it doesn't matter they can't answer my questions. It's just that, didn't they refute your heresy? No, they didn't. Okay, the church nephews don't matter. But it just shows you that these people are not here to have a conversation. Again, you're acting like Muslims. Show me a verse where Jesus says I'm God. Okay? Worship me, even though he said it multiple times, but not literally. Okay? Yeah. Jesus said he was God. Worship me, even though he said it multiple times, but not literally. I am God. Worship me. Okay? Yes. Yes. I want a piece of pizza, but I'd never said I wanted a piece of pizza, ever. But I really wanted that piece of pizza. So I don't know why you didn't give me a pizza, even though I never asked for a pizza, right? I wanted that piece of pizza, but I never asked for that pizza. This is the insanity that you get when you dialogue with Trinitarians. And again, yeah, the Trinity is formed from the special revelation. Okay, this is the questions that I asked them, but they can't answer it. That Jesus is divine and the personhood of the Holy Spirit. Trinity, Trinitas are theological statements made to express a certain reality expressed in the Bible. It is a fallacious dichotomy that seems to be presented by the heretics, in which they result into word games without any want to actually represent what Trinitarians believe. See, This is my point. My point is they're not able to have an actual conversation. And I say, your comments are more Trinity lies and nonsense. Nobody in the Bible ever tries to make the case for a three-person God, teaches it to anybody. It's never mentioned. Your comment shows that you're not somebody who cares about truth and therefore will be ignored because you have nothing but rambling. The ironic thing is you're the heretic because you follow a belief that Jesus and the apostles never taught or even mentioned. You're just obnoxious and full of pride, so you'll be a waste of time. Bye-bye. Now, when you have enough Trinitarians that come at you and they just ramble and they waste your time, you get frustrated. So I do vent out a little bit, but it's just the fact that they're not able to answer my questions and they're doing it dishonestly and being disingenuous that gets my goat, right? I don't like it when people do this. I like it when people have conversations, and I've taken this channel and trying to push it into a direction where we're going to have dialogue. If nobody comes on the channel and talks, I'm fine with that, right? But I don't want people on the channel that just want to go around and around and around and give me their opinions, okay? I don't have time for that. I'm not going to answer questions and repeatedly address trolls. So when somebody comes at me and they're not there to have a conversation, then they're either going to get blocked or removed, or I'm going to throw a little bit of fire towards them and say, hey, you know, deal with the video or just go away, quit trolling, right? So again, the heretic deletes your comments. I've never deleted any comments. That's a lie. I will remove people from my channel, and that's probably what happened. And like I said, when I remove people from my channel, let's see if it happens here. I'll hide user from my channel. Hide user. Okay, so I hide him, but see, his comment's still there. And if I hide user, see it, I hit him already. So why is it saying hide? See, that's the problem that I was running into. So I don't delete people from my channel. I hide the users from my channel, right? And if I hide the user from my channel, then it should block. See, I could remove it, but I'm not doing that. I'm hiding the user from my channel, but yet when I go back, he's still not hidden from my channel. Then I did it again. See, so I don't block people as far as removing comments. I hide them. Okay, so let's get that straight. Okay, so and again, he's got UTM comment blogs or whatever. I don't care. I'm gonna hide him from my channel again because he's trolling my channel. Okay, and this guy also is not worth to have a conversation with. So he's also going to be hidden from my channel. He's going to go bye-bye. Okay, he's going to go bye-bye. So let's see again. Hide user from my channel. There he goes. See, I don't delete comments like I said. I hide people from my channel. This guy here at least is trying. He's not being obnoxious and arrogant. He can stick around for a little bit. But this guy acting like a Muslim, that's kind of a snarky little comment also, but not too bad. So I said, Muslims are right though, you're not. And you can never show me anybody speaking of a three-person God in the Bible or ever trying to make the case for it. Don't come at me with silly stuff like that or stuff like that. If you're not here to have a conversation, just be silly. You're just going to be ignored if you're silly. Okay, that's how I deal with people. Other than that, my man is deleting comments. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I've tried to make the case. You're more than welcome. I don't delete comments. This is another guy that I blocked. If you don't contribute to the conversation and just troll my channel, then you're going to get blocked. I don't remember deleting any of your comments. I actually tried to block you from my channel because you're adding nothing but trolling. See, I block people. I hide them. I do not delete comments. So I don't know what's up with YouTube by not allowing people to block people right away. If I block them right away, it should delete all the comments. I shouldn't have to selectively go through this. Okay, hey man, first video of yours I've seen. What are your thoughts on your belief? I say that I'm a Christian. Another one said, great, thought-provoking. Come on, the Trinity. Okay, whatever. It's taught. Yeah, okay, well, that's just silly. There is only one God working in unison. Okay, this is I said, most Trinitarians are a waste of time. They're not able to answer my questions. So he goes on his diatribe and tries to tell me about the Trinity. I said, show me in the gospel where somebody tries to teach me the Trinity. See, they can't even stick to the questions. This is what bothers me. The Son the Son and the Holy Spirit, only one God working through three. Not very difficult to see this. Simple, very simple. Add some belief and there is religion. Study more, sir. Study more, sir. Study more about the Trinity. And he explains it to me in a paragraph. And I said, you're a living proof of why I made the video and why most Trinitarians are a waste of time. That would include you. Do you see how easy it was for you to present your belief and come to a conclusion? Nobody in the gospel ever tries to convince us that God is a three-person being. I'm sorry, but I don't have time for your riddles. This is not the gospel. This is not in the gospel, and it's not something that Jesus and the apostles never spoke of or tried to convince anybody of over. This will be my final comment to you. Jesus always assumed himself to be God. He referred to himself as someone at the level of God. Okay. Then I go through, if you're going to continue to troll my channel, again, this is a comment post about Trinitarians. 0 Trinitarians have been able to answer my questions. Then they go down the deity of Jesus route. Jesus always assumed to be God. It has nothing to do with the comment posting. And I went back and forth on him. See, you can't show me a single passage where Jesus says he's God Almighty. But then I talk about, I'm not here to talk about this. I'm here to talk about the Trinity, right? I'm not getting mad. I'm seeing you as someone who's disingenuous and wasting my time. And you add words. He made Exodus 3:14 to say I am in lowercase, right? He made Exodus 3:14 to say I am in lowercase. And then he gives me all these riddles. It's not about the posting. This is not about the posting that I was talking about. He's trying to make Jesus God now, okay? And then he made earlier, he went through, and I tried to block him again. I tried to block him when I say hide user from my channel. He didn't go away. Now, this is genuinely getting a bit hilarious. We haven't really started. I said, you are commenting here under a comment and can't even address the questions outlined in the comment. Now you are trying to steer this conversation into a different direction. This is why I have said that dialoguing with most Trinitarians is a waste of time. Cheers. Now this is getting genuine silly, hilarious. We haven't really started and you're not liking it. I simply put a quotation of Jesus Christ, which has strongly shown me that Jesus was equating himself to be Jehovah of the Old Testament. Again, this is the silliness that you get into. First of all, the entire comment section that I was posting on was about the Trinity, that no Trinitarian has been able to answer my questions. And then they try to prove the deity of Jesus, which is exactly what this guy is trying to do, right? You can't make this stuff up, folks. And then he commented and went out of his way to make Exodus 3:14, when God says, I am who I am, he made it lowercase to slip in something to try and parallel Exodus 3:14 to John 8:58 so I wouldn't notice. See, because it's striking when in the King James, when you have I am who I am in uppercase in the King James in Exodus 3:14, but when Jesus says it, it's I am. It's a tiny little I am, but he didn't want me to notice that, so he went out of his way to make it small. See, it just shows you the deliberate deception of Trinitarians. And I said, if you continue to troll my channel, you're going to get blocked. And you can troll somewhere else. Jesus did not say, I am who I am. It's not even the same wording in Exodus 3:14 and John 8:58. Nice try. The comment was about the Trinity. You can't even stay focused on the conversation. Last warning. Why are you getting so upset so quickly? I haven't said anything to you. You haven't. You haven't said anything because you've just been rambling trying to prove Jesus is God. You say that concept should be about the Trinity. Well, I think it should be very clear that the first steps to understand the Trinity of the Bible is to understand whether or not Jesus assumed the position of God. No, it's not. This is what I'm talking about. See, they're trying to patch these things together and prove the deity of Jesus. But I'm trying to have a genuine conversation, but I feel that you're getting outright hostile, even though I have hardly begun. Here is the flow of logic. Let me see your problem. Exodus 3:14 tells it clear the name of God is I am. It's not. It's I am who I am. Okay, I am sent me to you. Jesus, when he asked how, if he had seen Abraham, replied, before Abraham existed, I am. See, this is the logic that a Trinitarian has. So God is saying I am who I am, which he did not give you. He said I am. Okay, and then Jesus says before Abraham was Jehovah. Before Abraham was Jehovah. See, he doesn't make any sense. Even if you think that it has nothing to do with the name of I am, that the text at least includes that Jesus existed before Abraham. No, it doesn't. See, and also I'm not going to get into a long comment debate with these people about Jesus being God. See, they want to steer you to a different direction. That's exactly my point in the posting. This is why most Trinitarians are a waste of time, because they try to steer you into a different direction and get you away from the questions that you're asking. Okay? Now, instead of getting bitter and angry, once again, kindly reply properly. I'm not going to reply to him about the Trinity or about Jesus being God. I'm going to say, there you have it, folks. That's what I have to deal with on a daily basis. Why I post questions about the Trinity, the 5 deadly questions, and why they are not able to answer my questions, and yet they come across, they say that I'm getting nasty, I'm a heretic. No, it's because I don't have any more time for these people, right? So you can see that, and these are the easy comments. Some of the comments were nasty. Some of them started cursing. Some of them started becoming belligerent, just nasty, I don't have time for these people. So I just remove them. I give them a couple of warnings and then they're gone. Because I only want people on this channel that I can converse with, that I can bring to the truth or steer to the truth, or maybe I can have them lead me to the truth. But when I see people who are not being truthful in the conversation, then I cannot learn from these individuals at all, and I cannot have an honest conversation with these individuals at all, because they're not coming and saying, hey, you make some good points. Let me show you where somebody teaches the Trinity in the gospel. I'll go, hey, I'm all ears. Let me see, right? That's what I want. I don't want somebody to come on trying to prove the deity of Jesus. I don't want somebody coming on and calling me a heretic and say, you just don't see it. You just don't see it. You're like a Muslim. These people are not in the right spirit to have a conversation. They're gone, right? I'm not going to waste 5 hours on each individual trying to have a dialogue with them and listen to them ramble and spout out how Jesus is God, when that's not the questions that I asked. And that's why I've said over and over again that most Trinitarians are a waste of time. So for those of you who watch the video, I'm not going to give many warnings anymore. If you just don't respond to my questions, you're just going to get removed, because this is getting silly now, okay? And again, this shows you that Trinitarians cannot answer the questions, so they try to steer you into a different direction and try to avoid answering them and then get off into the Jesus is God diatribe, right? And then they have the polemics and all these other, they try to insult and they try to come across and try to hide things like in Exodus 3:14 and the I am who I am, and make it tiny so it's not as striking. I find that really comical, I am who I am. It's I am who I am now, right? I am who I am is I am who I am. So he went out of his way to remove the capitalization from the King James when it says I am who I am. So it blends in a little bit better with John 8:58 when Jesus says, I am, right? And he says he uttered his divine name. Jesus did not say, ego eimi hoon. He said, I am, not before Abraham was Jehovah. See? So again, my focus now is the Trinity. Answer the 5 deadly questions. Try one of them at least. Don't get into your polemics and your excuses and your Jesus is God attempts. I'm over that, okay? I'm not dealing with that anymore. You can troll somewhere else. I'll block you. I'll remove you. I don't delete comments. Have you seen? I don't delete comments individually. I block or hide users. And I thought YouTube was doing its job, because it did in the past. When you hide a user from their channel, the comments go away. You shouldn't have to go through individually and hide user from the channel, right? That's kind of counterintuitive. So I wanted everybody to see that I don't delete comments. I don't. I do hide users, and when I hide users, they delete the comments, but I expected them to delete all the comments. So some of the comments would have been deleted, as you've seen, and some wouldn't, which is kind of frustrating for me. I wanted all of them to be gone, right? So, no, I do not remove comments from my channel. I'm not a coward like that, unless they're, again, cussing or whatever. But I will hide users from my channel who waste my time. And these people are clearly wasting my time. So, last warning, Trinitarians, right? For those of you who troll and try to act obnoxious, answer my 5 deadly questions. The very fact that you can't and you get stirred up like a hornet's nest is proof that your doctrine is not valid, it's not biblical. Otherwise, you'd be able to answer them. This is literally the foundation of your doctrine, and you're not able to answer even one. And the saddest part about it all is they don't care, right? That is the sad part about it. And that's, again, why I said that dialoguing with most Trinitarians is a waste of time. Now, with that being said, until next time, God bless you. Unbelievable. How silly are Trinitarians? Very silly. Very, very, very silly.